Excellent. Welcome everyone to our live web stream of the 2016 edition of the Mitchell Bonspiel. The curlers have taken to the ice. The Pipers led them on, and we're about to have our national anthems. Our thanks, as always, to Teal LaBarbara for A wonderful rendition of the Canadian and the United States national anthems on John Jacon, joined by Doug Smith here in the broadcast booth.
Good morning, John. We'll have John will set up the teams that are participating in today's Mitchell Bonspiel final, and we have their photos, and we'll get the chance to meet the teams in just a second.
This is the 106th anniversary of the event being played here at the Utica Curling Club. A great tradition here and an event that folks look forward to every year. We've at our banquet on Friday night, we had a couple of participants who have been here for more than 30 years, 30 continuous years of curling here in the Mitchell Bonspiel, and that's certainly an accomplishment to be proud of. Our featured game today, played on sheet number 3 at the Utica Curling Club, features the teams from Schenectady number 1 and Ardsley number 1. Is it Ardsley 1 or Ardsley 2? I can't see that
Ardsley.
far. Just Ardsley.
So we'll have the here's the photo of the Schenectady team, and we'll let Pat Fitzgerald introduce his roster. This is from left to right. There's Pat on the left.
Good morning, this is Pat Fitzgerald with Schenectady Curling Club. Skip for the team with Dave Spangler throwing vice, Jeff Mayat in the 2 slot, and Greg Alexis throwing lead for us.
And they're going up against the Ardsley squad, skipped by Dennis Mellerup. Here's Dennis to introduce his team.
Hi, my name is Dennis Mellerup, and I'm the skip, and my team is third Danny Stetsky, second Bill Nickel, and lead Bill Pescott.
So there's your teams competing in today's final.
Good morning, this is Pat Fitzgerald with Schenectady Curling Club. Skip for the...
Pat gets double duty there.
While the curlers take their practice slides, why don't we move across the sheets and talk about some of the other events that are going on during this morning's final. On sheet number 1, our E event features the Utica 1 team, which just walked off the ice after an extra end victory to claim their way into the E final, playing against Penetanguishene. Sheet number 2, our D event, Utica 4 versus a team from Ottawa. Sheet number 3, of course, our feature game on sheet number 4, Schenectady 3 battling Utica 5 for the B event final. Sheet number 5, the C event, features Utica 2 and West Naven. And the F event, being conducted on sheet number 6, features Albany and the Granite Club. Looks like we're ready for lead stones here. And as skip Pat Fitzgerald steps onto the ice, playing the Redstones today. Center line guard is the call. Sweepers are going to ease it into position. And that's a fine opening stone, settling in about 6 feet out of the house. Ardsley electing here to bring play right into the rings, not looking for the corner guard, but looking to bring one right in. T-line, edge of the 8-foot. Sweepers waited a while before they got down on this one. Now one sweeper carrying it into the house. That comes up just a little short, very tight corner guard. And now Schenectady will try and take advantage of the center line guard by bringing him right around and bring play into the 4-foot. Sweeper's really working hard on this one, but it's not going to make it around the guard. Contact will keep both guards within the 4-foot area, but there is a path down the center. And that's the path that Ardsley wants to take advantage of. Taking that center line guard, move the Yellowstone over just a little bit to the right so that now Ardsley can't take advantage of the corner guard that they had thrown with their first stone on a draw. They'll need to take advantage of that later with some type of hit and roll. Rocks are swinging nicely, maybe a little too nicely as this one comes into contact with the high center line guard. Rolls over and now a double corner on the right-hand side of the sheet as we look at it from the shooter's perspective. Schenectady still wants to take advantage of the center line guard. The call is for a tap off of the blue stone just outside of the rings and roll underneath the center line cover. With the right roll, this rock should end up still top 12. Contacts made on the higher guard, moving 2 blue stones. Schenectady shot rolls across the house. The blue rolls out of the house, and now Schenectady lies shot. Hitting a small roller hit and stay is the call here. Sweeper's on it right away, right out of hand, really working this stone hard. In contact again with the guard. Shooter does stay in play and is now shot rock. Not exactly sure from Pat's call if he's looking for the takeout or if he's looking for the freeze here. We'll see what kind of weight we get. That's takeout weight. And a good hit and stick for Schenectady, now lie 2. Ardsley with the hammer, facing 2 yellow stones, 1 top 12, 1 back 8. Calls for hit and roll into the 4-foot area. This one again getting a little more curl than the teams are expecting. This is going to hit on the far side. Roll out of play. Yep. 1 Schenectady stone in the rings. Dave Spengler stepping into the hack, and call is for him to draw top 4. Once again, trying to take advantage of the center line guard thrown with the opening stone.
So, John, I see that just sheets 3 and 4 playing 10-end final today. The outer sheets just playing 8-end games.
Tight guard. Guard, 2 guard. Tight, go. Gotta go, guys. Go all the way. Keep it going.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Isn't that for the B event?
That is the B
Sheet four,
event.
yeah.
So sheet 4, in fact, did hang their first 2 wins. They're going to play 8. So nice draw weight here for Dave Spengler. Unfortunately, not as much curl on the draw as they've been getting on some of the hit weight shots. So that one's open, top of the button.
Yeah, into Vice Stones now, and number 1 here. Just getting set up. We have the chat room open. All you need is a Google account to log in. We see we have some Schenectady fans out there so far.
Dan Seski with his first shot of the opening end. Hit and trying to roll under the center line guard. Stones curling nicely now. A good hit, a good roll. Could have given that just a little more sweep there at the end to control the roll, but 3/4, half hidden underneath the center line guard.
And our other announcer just sent us a text. He'll be here in 20 minutes. John, Dave Craig Nolan will be joining us shortly.
Fantastic. Drive safe, Dave. Once again, attempting the draw here. Not the easiest draw to place here, Doug, because you leave it a little too far left on the shooter's perspective, a fairly easy hit. You bring it a little too deep, and then you've got the double combination off of the blue stone at the top of the 4-foot.
Mark the line, guys. Mark the line. All the way.
Just a touch light, and that one ends up center line, top 12.
Come on.
Still room for Ardsley to bring play into the 4-foot. That's what they're considering, and that's... Well, we'll see which way he sets up the turn here. This broom could be for one of 2 shots. It could be the straight draw, or it could be for the hit and roll undercover. And it looks like the hit and roll undercover. So trying to remove second shot here. This is going to make contact. Not going to get the roll they're looking for.
And just outside the rings, it looks like.
Yeah, it does from our perspective. They'll throw a biter bar on that later if it comes into play, but third shot in any event. First look was at the run back, but Pat seems to feel that there's plenty of room by the center guard to get it shot rock.
Four Utica teams on the ice right now. We know Utica 2, or actually it was Utica Knapp's team. What number were they? Do you remember?
I think
yeah,
they
the
were
four, right?
Utica
C
4.
event, yep. So they were in the semifinals last night, lost out. Our champions back a few years ago, I believe, 2010. Don Knapp, Tom Everson, Roger Rowlett, and Kevin Stevens, a staple at this event.
A lot of experienced Mitchell Bonspielers here on the ice. Pat just taking a moment here to discuss with the front end where he'd like to take this shooter. Go ahead, Doug.
I was just going to say for the Schenectady folks out there, we do have our camera, our Sheet 4 cameras set up to watch the Stefanik rink, so we'll try to cut over to that game, playing Bill Sewell's rink on Sheet 4 for the Allen medal.
Sweepers on and off, but again, just a little more curl than they've been anticipating on the hit weight shots. Makes contact with the center line guard.
And Kim says good morning to us, John.
Of course Kim would be here.
Missed a great game at 8:30 this morning, Kim. Extra ends to survive and advance in the E event. Is it a friendship medal? Is that what they call it, John?
Yes.
Yeah. So the A event quarterfinalists moving into that event.
The call here is to hit the yellow stone, top 12, flop over to provide cover for shot rock, and then depending on whether that other blue stone is a biter or not, to lay potentially 2 or 3. Sweeper's on right out of hand, one sweeper only. That's your new technique there, trying to hold the line straight with the sweeping diagonally across the face of the stone in the direction that you'd prefer it to stay.
I was curious if we were going to see that technique employed today, John.
Now that one does look like a biter, Doug, from our overhead shot.
Yeah, not the Mike Kessler Curling Network today. Robert, Kim, well, if their game goes late like the 8:30, we have the satellite swiveling. We can show you the action over on sheet 5.
Fantastic.
Or, yes, on sheet 1, excuse me.
Pat Fitzgerald sliding back down into the hack to deliver his last skips rock here at the first end. Making a play on shot rock really needs to get a good roll under cover here to limit the damage. Otherwise, we're looking at Ardsley taking 2, perhaps even 3. Little softer hit weight, can't afford to roll out. Sweepers on, trying to control the impact point.
It's going to be wide open.
And does it get all the way through the back of the house? Ooh,
Just barely. Vice Skip lost track of that one.
Yeah.
So we know pretty sure 1 is blue is sitting 2 on the rings right now. So just be a hit for 2.
Yeah, Brian Damon almost neglected that stone, the Ardsley stone going out through the back of the house. It was a soft hit, but by the time he jumped back there, the stone had cleared the rings. Dennis Mellerup prefers a little tighter broom here. He's going to play it a little up weight, try and stick right there on the nose. And with the amount of curl we've seen on the takeout so far, Doug, expect the sweepers to be very attentive to this rock. And they are right on. Again, utilizing the single sweep technique. This rock needs to come back a little more to center.
Yeah, it's right on the beat. Good shot.
So now we'll see if they put a biter bar down for that third rock over on the left-hand side as we look at it from behind the glass.
Nice.
Oh, I had my Schenectady teams mixed up. Thank you, Bob Cleese. And the biter bar does come out.
That's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's not enough weight.
And just slides by, so a score of 2.
Yep.
Oh, it slid by the top one, too. They're going to take another look. Only 1 pass.
Don't know.
From our view up here, that looked like it went by clean, Doug.
I believe so, John. I think that's just 1 for Ardsley. Again, 10-end game here being played on our A-event final.
And the front end in the scoreboard confirms a score of 1. Now Bill Peskoff will play the opening stone of end number 2. Ardsley taking play right into the rings, calling for the draw straight to the tee line.
Back line of hack.
So the teams are hanging ends to indicate the score, to basically taking a point. And when they're playing an 8-end game, they're hanging these ends. I wish they'd hang the over for the blank ends. It'd be easier. So what you'll see on our scoreboard is some of the games being 2 sheets ahead. 2 ends ahead of our games. And it looks like sheet 5, so no, just sheet 3 is the only one playing 10 ends, John, right?
Correct. Fantastic draw weight on the opening stone for Ardsley, right to the tee line, splits the tee line. Didn't get as much curl as they hoped out of it. Schenectady's going to play a hit and try and roll over to the edge of the rings here.
Dave Craig Nolan has arrived.
So here's the hit, a little more nose than they were looking for, and just a very slight roll off to the side.
Hear this, Dave. Okay.
Ardsley will look to hit and stick.
And we welcome Dave Craig Nolan to the broadcast. Good morning, Dave.
Thank you. Good to be here. I just bounced in from the Catskills this morning. Had some family matters to take care of, and they are all in place, so it's good to be here with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you.
The hit's accomplished, but unfortunately not the stick part. Shooter rolls out, and we've got an open house. Pat Fitzgerald will take play to the other side of the rings.
And if you guys want to adjust your headphone volume, you can.
Okay. Sounds good here.
Yep. Okay.
Just fill me in, guys. What events are going on? I know 3 is 3.
Sheet 1 is the E event.
Okay.
Sheet 2 is our D event today.
Yep.
Sheet 4 is the B event, the Allen medal.
Yep.
Sheet 5 is our C event. Sheet 6 is our friend F event.
Gotcha. Thanks.
T-line top 8 draw was the call. That one comes up a bit short. Very wide corner guard. And now Ardsley changing gears a little bit, looking to bring this one top of the house. They don't want to go deep into the house so that the Schenectady team doesn't have the advantage of being able to roll underneath that very wide corner guard. Dave, you've played in a fair number of Mitchells and have had your opportunities to be out here on Sunday playing for the championship trophy, the championship medal. What makes this Bonspiel different than so many of the others that you get to play in?
The camaraderie. I would say it's in most curling tournaments that I've participated in. Certainly this one being the best at that. You look forward to seeing old friends that year in and year out. There's a lot of familiar faces that seem to be part of this every year, and it's the camaraderie and the good sportsmanship that goes with this sport.
We were talking about that earlier in the broadcast, that there were 2 honorees at the Friday night banquet who had been coming for over 30 years, 34 and 32 years.
And that's something in itself. Good to see Pat Fitzgerald here having a good tournament. I played with Bill Sewell last year, and actually played in the first game Thursday night, but I had some family matters to take care of in the Catskills. And last year we played against Pat in the first game, and it's good to see him that he bounced back. He had kind of a rough tournament last year. I'm assuming that both of these teams are obviously undefeated, playing for our A final.
Absolutely. Ardsley looking to draw behind the center line guard here. Weight looks nice, room by the guard.
Real tight.
Now the curl's really coming on.
Little tick. Weight was real good.
So as you look at your scoreboards across the left-hand side of the sheet, you can see that Penetanguishene has taken a 1-point lead over Utica 1 on sheet number 1. Still haven't seen a score posted on sheet number 2 for the first end. Sheet number 4, our B event, score of 3 for Utica 5 in the opening end. Hits the call, looking to take advantage of the center line guard.
Got it, not going to keep his shooter. And Utica 5 on sheet 4 is part of my rink. I actually played down in the Murray with that rink, but due to a weekend family matter, I was only able to play Thursday night. It's good to see them playing for a medal against last year's defender.
And on sheet number 6, a score of 1 point in the first end for the Granite team. Once again, we're looking to try and bring play behind the guard just off of the center line. Sweepers really working this one hard for weight.
That's kind of been the storyline of our ice this year. A little tough to predict. This rock was a little bit light, but nonetheless it did curl a lot in the last 20 feet. As you heard Skip Dennis Miller up yapping that he thought the line was good, and then all of a sudden the line was not good.
Right, right.
Kind of a plight of curling, being able to, on swingy ice, being able to make those calls before the rock does actually turn, because once it turns, usually it's real difficult if it's light to save them.
Pat Fitzgerald trying to remove the blue stone on the center line, but there's just a little bit of overlap here, Dave. He's going to have to hit this one relatively thin to take that blue all the way through the house.
Mm-hmm. He's got his hammer here, too. It wouldn't be the end of the world if he spilled them all and put a corner guard up either.
Right off. This one's just a little wide. But we've been seeing the takeouts move nicely, Dave, and here the rock
Getting
comes.
better. This is going to be about what he called for, I believe.
Is it enough weight to take that blue rock all the way through the house?
Maybe.
Pat's going to have to put the
just
broom
right.
down. It's a good, strong scrub. And it does just ease it out of the back of the house.
Smart call here by Skip Dennis Miller up to, those are sort of playing in his favor as center guards right now, so he's going to try and get behind them. And if he can get one behind the center line guard, it'll be a tough one to get at because of the way those yellow rocks are lined up. So good call here. And again, the line looks real good. Bill Peskoff not sold on the weight.
Waiting for line to improve.
Again, just a scooch light here.
But that's a stone that Schenectady is going to want to deal with.
Absolutely. And he was not sold. Bill Peskoff shaking his head, pretty sure that the weight was light there. And that's good. That's what you want from people that are sweeping rocks. If they're pretty sure it's light, and stay with it and communicate to the skip or the person in the house that the rock is light and it's going to need sweeping to get where it needs to go. Beautiful game. Some calling line, some calling weight. Hard game to describe to people that don't play it.
So it looks like Pat's going to be attempting a little bit of a split here, Dave. Hit the center line guard.
Yep.
Just about on the nose.
And he might just jiggle these rocks, these yellow rocks around a little bit would be really good for him too. This rock looks like it's going to over curl to me.
Yeah, this is going to make contact
This is
with the
probably
blue
going to
stone.
tap the blue rock into the park, but leave it exposed. And it didn't quite get there. Now it's really getting kind of junked up.
Interesting intel from our Schenectady viewers letting us know that both the vice and lead on the Pat Fitzgerald team are curlers with less than 5 years of experience. Still
Outstanding.
Francis Dykes eligible.
And that would be Jeff Mayotte and Greg Alexis?
Greg Alexis and Dave Spengler.
And Dave Spengler, okay, gotcha.
Takeout's the call here for Ardsley, looking to flop underneath the pile.
First skip rock from Dennis Mellerup. Nicely thrown rock here. And fine shot.
Yeah, with the distance you had between those two yellow stones, that's about the best you could have hoped for right there.
Pat looking to make some noise here. The way these rocks are lined up, I believe if he hits that top yellow rock with good weight, he's going to spill both of the blue rocks. And quite possibly, I don't know that he's going to sit two, but he'll definitely have both blue rocks out of play and some yellow rocks to work with here.
Certainly trying to give himself a little more room to work with his last stone.
Mm-hmm. He still may leave Dennis a chance to draw behind all this clutter, if you will.
The question here is going to be the yellow stone that he's hitting, if that makes contact with the blue stone on the left-hand side as we look at it here from behind the glass. Right-hand side on your screen.
Not a great
where
deal
that
of
blue will roll.
weight. Probably needed a little more weight than this for that shot, but
So bounce off the yellow.
a little more weight. He might have got both blues out of there. Kind of just a controlled takeout there. He needed a little more oomph to get them both out of there. Now a decision for Dennis Mellerup sitting one. Do you draw and go to the top of the 4 foot here? Yup.
Absolutely. the way the rocks are staggered up on top, there's really no opportunity for a run back here unless this one
Correct.
really curls a ton. And then you might have an opportunity for a run back.
An almost
with one of the
impossible
yellow
shot
stones.
for two for Schenectady here too. So I think you gotta just try and be second. Get another rock in here behind these yellow ones, and then Pat will have his hands full trying to get if he can get a rock to the top of the 4 foot here, he'll have a pretty tough shot to get at it.
Even to just get one.
Mm-hmm. Early in the game, obviously a 10-end game here.
Yes. And even if you show an edge of this, Dave, then you really have to worry about controlling the roll on any type of hit that you play.
Sure.
Because you're going to have to play up weight with the amount of movement we've been seeing on the stones, even with hit weight.
Last skip rock from Dennis Mellerup.
From the broom location, they're anticipating a little bit more than 4 foot of curl out of this rock. Weight looks nice. They really need it to bend now to find a place to hide.
And this is a darn nice shot here from Dennis Mellerup. Really a beauty.
Fantastic weight and a nice finish on that stone as it entered the house.
Now there is a slash double here too. Quarter, right? Quarter. He's taking a second look at this double here. Makes good sense because if he flashes one here, he gives up two. Going after the blue one, the most he's going to give up if he gets the blue rock that's in the 12-foot circle out of there, he's going to give up one. And he's got a chance to get his one here. Looks like that's what he's doing. Coming with his out turn. Tough decision, too, to make to throw which turn you'd like to throw here. I guess it's a matter of comfort in the way the ice is curling.
We've been seeing more of the inside-out play on the takeouts so far early in this game. He may have started that one just a hair.
Well, he certainly he got one rock out of there. Steal of one for Ardsley.
Steal of one for Ardsley, and they now take a 2-point lead as we move into the third end. We can give you a scoring update on sheet number 2. Utica 4 takes a single point in the fourth. Well, they're calling it the fourth end. They hung the first 2 ends, so we'll call it the fourth end just so we don't get too confused on the scoreboard here. And now Ottawa has a 3-2 lead. A little out-of-town information for you, Dave. The Utica team skipped by Liz DiGeronimo won the Empire State Bonspiel being held this weekend in Schenectady.
Bravo.
Defeating the Schenectady
Congrats to
Fitzgerald
them.
Rink. In our B event game, after a score of 3 in the opening end from Utica 5, Schenectady number 3. Schenectady 3 roars right back with a 3 of their own to tie the game 4-4.
Take a look now. Take a look. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
And 3 seemed to be the magic number over on sheet number 5, a score of 3 in the opening end on our D event game. Excuse me, C event game. Once again, Ardsley electing to bring play directly into the house. That one comes up a bit short from where they wanted. Mid-8, they would prefer that stone top of the 4-foot, but still a nice opening draw. Pat, without hesitation, calling for the hit and the roll to the rings. This one's not coming back as they had hoped.
Now Bill Peskoff will get a chance to throw his guard, and he's maybe looking for a tap. If you guard it, they can't hit it.
Yeah, at this point in time, you may as well take advantage of the free guard rule, but now they're changing
Calling
their
for a
minds.
tap. A little aggressive play here.
That one's deep enough that if you if you hit it right on the nose, Dave, it's going to leave him the double opportunity.
Very true.
So I think I agree with you that I like the guard better in
And
this situation.
Bill Peskoff's calling for the guard, and Dennis Millerup's calling for the tap. And it looks like they've agreed on somewhere in between. Freeze wouldn't be horrible. Looks like plenty of weight.
Waiting for line to improve.
Here, Bill Peskoff hollering it's all there. It's not coming over. It's actually going to split these rocks unless it goes back past it, which it may. Well, a little split, so they're going to get 2 rocks in the park here.
Weight was right for the tap. That may have taken it just past T line.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Schenectady calling for the hit, and now we'll like to roll over in front of the Ardsley stone that lies back 4, mid-back 8. Use that as a catcher for any future Ardsley takeout.
Absolutely.
Once again, getting a little fooled by the ice on that one. Not quite as much curl as they anticipated, and unable to clear that stone all the way out the rings and lose the shooter over on the left-hand side.
And the good news for Pat Fitzgerald is that they're both behind the tee line. Dennis Miller will go back to protecting the 4-foot circle. When ends shape up like this early in ends, you obviously want to score more than one when you have the hammer, and sometimes the way that the game unfolds for you, you don't really get a chance to do that. So keeping the middle open and being able to get your one here was probably, even early in the end like this, is unless you start freezing to rocks, is probably what Pat's thinking about.
Yeah, this is certainly a much different looking end than what we saw in the second.
And this is going past the tee line also, I believe. So although there's 3 blue rocks in the park, it's not a panic time by any stretch here for Pat Fitzgerald.
And you see there Pat electing not to sweep that stone as it went by the tee line. Not that he was going to be able to carry it that much further, but give him more opportunity to bring play right down onto the pin. And you see that's the call.
Yep.
So by bringing it right down onto that one just back of the button, Dave, that forces Ardsley to play 2 shots to remove shot rock.
Correct. Even a little tap and roll over the other one wouldn't be horrible here to the one on the left. Weight looks real good.
Sweepers are waiting for line to improve.
Here it comes.
Line's real nice now.
Going to tap it a little, but it's a great shot. Right in front of it. Very nicely thrown.
Yeah, just a couple feet deeper than what they were hoping for, and
Yep.
it releases the back blue, and that's advantage
So now do you
Ardsley.
freeze to this up two, or do you just take it out? Of course you do. There you go. Again, the rings are still wide open here for Pat. Famous last words. We all love throwing that last rock when there's 4 of the opposing team's rocks in there, and all we have to do is hit the 4-foot circle. No problem. We got it.
Once again, we see not as much curl on the takeout as what Ardsley was expecting. Make contact with their own. Might be a biter in the back. We got fooled by the camera angle earlier, Dave, in our first end. Had 2 rocks that were very close to the house, but the biter bar slid by.
Wow. Never know. Those circles could be ever so slightly off. If they're close, it's a good idea. If the rock really matters, to throw it on there for sure.
Well, it was a difference between 1 and 3 on that opening end.
Wow.
Solid nose hit.
Yep.
Very nearly cleared out that stone at the back of the house. Maybe just a little more sweep would have gotten another Ardsley counter out of the back of the rings.
Let it curl. Let it curl. Go, yes, go, 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 go.
Simple replacement here.
All the way, guys. All the way. Come on. All the way. All the way.
Turned it in a little bit.
Really
It's going to
encouraging
make
the
contact.
sweepers.
No, it's actually going to work out just fine. Well swept. Ideal shot for Pat would be, he's looking at exactly to hit this rock and roll over in front of the rock to the right of the screen and be shot rock in front of the blue one. And who's the gentleman throwing this rock?
Dave Spengler.
Okay, Dave Spengler. This is one of the 5-year and under curlers.
Yes, it is. Nice delivery, but again,
Go wide.
and it might be a difference of 2 sides of the sheet, Dave, because earlier in the game on the first end, we saw a couple of takeouts curling a little bit more than the teams were expecting.
A little weight-sensitive piece of ice there, huh? Maybe if you're down weight a little bit, it'll come over. Still trying to block the 4-foot circle here.
Now, Dave, do you bring this one right into the top 4? Or do you maybe bring this one mid-8 so that a hit on it is not shot rock?
Either or. I guess if you really get, I think you want to go top 4 here. You don't want to give a chance for Pat, for this kid to draw around it here. I keep saying this kid. Who's
Dave.
Dave, thank you. This one's not going to get there, I don't believe.
They might just get a biter out of this. Sweeper's really working hard.
Now that changes the complexion of the end completely. For me, I think I'd be drawing here, or freeze. And this is a good call too, because you'll be shot rock if you freeze to that rock.
Broom set up for about 3 foot of curl.
They're gonna go around. Right.
Second vice stone of our third end.
Line looks great.
Sweeper's just marching alongside, not a broom anywhere near the ice here. Line's improving nicely.
Coming over nice, going to be shot rock. Nice throw. Very nice.
Nose hit'll spill both and still stay right there in the rings. Hardsley would still be lying too.
Smart move here. You take 2 out of the equation. I guess a real aggressive move would be to draw behind the guard on the left side, but this is a smarter move to take 2 out of the equation.
Look for this one to be firm. Sweeper's down right away, right out of hand for the left-hander, Dennis Mellerup. This is going to make good contact. Shot rock is definitely going to stay.
Good shot.
Exactly as they drew it up. Now Pat's forced with the decision whether he wants to try the hit and roll himself or does he want to take play right into the 4-foot.
And he just saw a rock on this line too, which is a big help if you want to throw it again.
Seems like he favors that freeze.
Mm-hmm. And you can be ever so slightly heavy here and just move that blue rock back a few inches as long as you're directly in front of it.
Taking essentially the same amount of ice that he gave Dave Spengler on this same draw.
Mm-hmm.
Discussing split times with the front end. Little scoreboard update as we wait for Pat Fitzgerald to deliver this stone. He's settling into the hack now. Single point scored by Utica 5 on sheet number 4. And they now have a 5-4 lead.
First skip rock from Pat Fitzgerald, looking to freeze to the shot rock. And it looks real light. I don't know, the sweepers jumped it like it was light.
Yeah, this one's swinging hard, Dave. This is not going to end up where they want it. They're going to have to struggle even to get this one onto the rings, and that comes up well short.
So you could have afforded to be a little heavy there and bump that blue rock, but now he set himself in a little bit of trouble here. Yep.
So now Dennis Mellerup is going to attempt to make the single point for Schenectady as difficult as possible by bringing play right underneath that center line guard.
Also a train of thought, if you do leave it just biting the 8-foot circle, he won't be shot rock, I don't think, if
force him to play the cold draw.
Force him to play the cold draw. So if this is not going to go right behind the blue guard, you really want to keep it up high and cut the rings down. I'm not sure if that other rock, is a biter on the outside. You might have 3 rocks touching the park here.
Yeah, with our camera angle forward of the rings, we don't have the best
Hard to
perspective.
tell, yeah.
2 sweepers on now as they look to bring this stone
Weight
into
looks
play.
great. Not going to bury, though, unfortunately.
This might go a little bit deep and actually give Pat a backer for his draw.
Yeah. And it did.
Juiced it just a little, Dave.
Yep, unfortunate miss there, but it's still it's a pressured shot because of the amount of blue rocks touching the rings here. So he's just got to throw that proverbial 4-foot draw here. The open 4-foot draw.
I think that's light in the face.
Well, to be playing on Sunday at 11:30, he's probably made his fair share of those through the weekend.
Indeed, and it's fun to be this far too. My rink is playing on 4 that I was part of.
Pat tightened up the broom a little bit here, realizing that he's got the backer. He can afford to be just a touch heavy.
It sure looks
Sweepers are
light,
on this hard.
and the third is coming out of the park to help him get it there, and
Never a good sign.
just don't want to tap this blue one up for another one, and it's not going to get there. So a big boo-boo here in the
So will we see the biter
Fourth
bar
end.
again?
big boo-boo. It's at
Thirds
least
are going to
3.
look it over.
It's at least 3.
We're grabbing the biter bar again, Dave.
Got room. Got room. Coming down. Starting to bend now.
And they're knocking that one away, so that's a score of 2.
I think there was 3.
Was it 3?
I think that was for 4, yep.
I think there, Dave, you really need to let the biter bar swing free because any kind of hand pressure can cause a little bit of flex.
Indeed.
Actually
You
shorten
kind of
that
got
bar
to just
up.
get it and just, kind of
let it move on
let
its
it
own
glide by
momentum,
on its
yep.
own, right, yep.
Either it's going to bounce or not.
Let it curl.
You only get one chance at those two if it's close,
Straight. Up. Up. Straight.
So now, Dave, this is where we see a big difference between the 8-end game and a 10-end game. No panic at all here for the Schenectady team as we enter into the 4th end, even though they're down 5-0.
No, you kind of focus here and try and get your 2, and just, every rock is important, obviously, but there is no need to panic in a 10-end game.
See, we have increasing numbers, so Dave, we have the photos and the introduction. So for our people just joining us a little late, why don't we run through both rosters real quick?
Sure.
There's the Schenectady 1 ring, and here's Pat Fitzgerald.
Club skip for the team with Dave Spangler throwing vice, Jeff May. Pat Fitzgerald with Schenectady Curling Club skip for the team with Dave Spangler throwing vice, Jeff Mayat in the 2 slot, and Greg Alexis throwing lead for us.
And here's our Ardsley team. We'll let Dennis introduce his lineup.
Hi, my name is Dennis Mellerup, and I'm the skip, and my team is third Danny Stetsky, second Bill Nickel, and lead Bill Pascal.
Nice touch, Doug. Once again, the end is shaping up like we're going to play the game, the end behind the tee line here.
And even with that rock behind the tee line, Ardsley's going to take it out. No need for any Schenectady stones in play here with a 5-point lead.
Good shot.
Time for Schenectady to get aggressive. They're going to play the freeze. This one's really swinging, Dave. This is not going to end up in the freeze location that they're looking for.
Once again, trying to erase the Schenectady rock here. Make Pat Fitzgerald play for 2. Or play for 1, I'm sorry. Fine shot. Might have to make use of this blue rock here and draw. Or freeze to the one in the back.
And while we're in the front end stones here at end number 4, we'll quickly go through a couple of the sheets and the full rosters of all the teams playing. Utica 1 over on sheet 1. You know this team. Jason Bryan skipping, Mike Kessler vice, Howard Feldman throwing second stones, and Jason Golubsky throwing the lead rocks. They're playing Penetanguishene, John, right? Is that the? You help me with pronunciation.
That's the
Close
way
enough.
it's said.
Dave Brunel. I apologize if some of these pronunciations are incorrect. Roger Lesperance is the vice. Kevin Moss throwing second stones, and Aaron Konkinen throwing lead rocks. That's our game on sheet 1. Back to our feature.
Nice draw here and a good freeze down onto the stone in the back of the house. With the blue stone at the top of the rings, Dave, here, they could afford that if it overcurled a little bit to use that as a guard.
Correct. Again, a nice aggressive move here to go ahead and take this rock out from Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis doesn't mind losing his stones at the back of the house here. They're only working to Schenectady's advantage.
Unfortunately, this is narrow, and this is going to be on the guard. So that's a break for Schenectady right there. Now I think you have to cover this rock up.
Do you think you cover it up, Dave, or
I
do you
do.
take play to the other side of the rings?
Yeah, I'm covering this rock up. Up high, just out counting the blue one in the back, and then you sit 1, 2. You make him run it. It's hard. He might jam the one in the back.
Pat's thinking about it. His first indication was to take play to the other side of the rings, but
Down 2, I'm down 5. I'm guarding this rock all day. But this is interesting. I'd like to see the end unfold.
well, perhaps he feels that by taking play further away from what is now shot stone gives him a better opportunity for 2 later in the end. Pat calling him off for line, but the sweeper saying we need to go for weight. Just finessing that one into position.
Okay.
That one settled in right about where Pat had his broom.
Again, Dennis Miller choosing to take shot rock out here.
And there's enough offset on these stones that they should both easily go.
Yeah, the only danger is an over curl.
Good size backswing delivery.
Going to chip it out. Good shot. Got rid of everything there, I think.
So, continuing with the rosters over on sheet 2, our D event. These are the teams that lost out in the semifinals of the A event last evening at 8 o'clock. Utica, team number 4, skipped by Don Knapp. Vice Stones, Tom Everson. Roger Rowlett throwing second rocks, and Kevin Stevens is the lead for Utica 4. Ottawa Curling Club is their opponent over there on sheet number 2. That's Scott Westwell, Skip, Rick Westwell, the vice, Greg Westwell, the second, and Tom Anderson is the lead.
Now the end is shaping up pretty good for Pat to get a deuce here. I'm assuming he's probably want to put this yellow rock in front of one of these blue rocks. Certainly just a T-line draw in front of one of them is fine.
Well,
Doesn't
I
have
was
to come
wondering-
behind the T-line, you know.
Well, I was wondering, he's standing at the back of the house. Is he standing back there just for convenience or because he actually wants his stone all the way in the back of the rings?
I think I'd come off this rock.
Good T-line
Yep.
weight, but Ardsley's going to take this one through the hole.
Certainly an opportunity to jam on these blue ones back here.
Dennis wants to keep the pressure on here. Does want to keep the shooter in play. He wants to be shot rock at the end of this.
Calling for normal takeout weight here.
The stone running a little flat.
Oh, he got her though.
Nice shot.
Didn't get the roll they're looking for, and two's back in play for Schenectady. Broom's a little wider for this shot, Dave.
Yeah, that one kind of over curled, I think, a little more than Pat wanted it to. It was in between weight, too. They did go behind the T-line with it, so.
This one's got a little more juice.
Yeah, it does.
Looking to lock it right onto the back.
Still a jam possibility here with two rocks.
Excuse me.
Tricky shot here. He could run the yellow one right back onto the center blue one,
Which would bring three into play.
but still flop over in front of his other rock and leave Pat with a, which would bring three into play. Absolutely. Leave Pat a double. I don't know if this rock's even touching the park here in the back, this blue one on the left. I can't tell I don't think it is, but it's close.
It's got to be real close because it's very nearly on the center line. Of course, if it was out on the center line, then it would be past the back line.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if you noticed, Dave, but we've been seeing a lot of the one sweeper technique here to hold the takeouts.
Great shot. Fill me in what that's about.
Well, some of the newer sweeping theory is that the scratches in the ice put down by the broom control the direction of the shot. So by having a sweeper work on only one side of the rock, you either influence the curl more in the direction that you want or hold it against the curl of the rock. There on that takeout, we were seeing him sweep against the direction the rock was curling to hold a straighter line, and actually it didn't work to their advantage because they didn't get enough nose there and rolled out of play. So perhaps could have come off a little bit late on that shot.
Yeah, I think I need to see that technique a little more. Maybe played at a very higher level than most of us play, for sweepers to be able to read that and players to be able to read that. I think at the level, certainly at the level that I play at, I'm not sure. I think I want another brawny. If I'm trying to keep a rock straight, I think I want another brawny sweeper helping me.
Absolutely.
Amazing how the game has changed over the years with acrylic brooms, and it's certainly a cleaner game, maybe. And there are still things like picks and rubber that come off of grippers and all kinds of stuff that does wind up on the ice to make for interesting shots. Certainly come a long way since the pond.
Draws the call again. Sweeper's down right out of hand. This has got enough. Does it have enough to get to the house?
I think so.
This is going to be high in the house.
It's okay. As long as it's 1-2, it's fine. Go, go, go. Okay.
The double would be nice here, wouldn't it, Dave?
Oh, good. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to try. Up 5, for sure. So he's got to hit about 2 inches of that top rock. A little more, 3 inches or so.
And his little curl, as we've seen on the last couple takeouts on this line, wouldn't be at all surprised to see the rock stay right there on that line.
Mm-hmm. The good news too is if he hits the double, he's gonna sit 3, and there'll be no chance of a jam if he does make the double. Pressured shot here though. Miss could allow Pat Fitzgerald back in the game.
Little tight of the broom,
Looks
Dave.
like a nose hit at best to me, but it might roll over a little. Just got to hope that it doesn't jam.
That's a fairly straight line.
Oh, it did make it. Well, they held it just beautiful. But one
bounces over the top.
One. Wow. Boy, did they ever hold that. They held that rock. Wow.
Yep, just an open draw for 2, though.
Yep.
10-end game here for those of you just joining us. You'll see our scoreboard. All the other sheets hung the first 2 ends, so that's why you see those games through 5 ends. We're through 3 here. So everyone on the scoreboard going to 10.
Great shot and unfortunate outcome there by Dennis Mellerup. His sweepers really held that rock. They were on it right away like he was narrow.
Pat Fitzgerald in the hack. Looking to claw his way back into this game. Last stone in end number 4. Light sweeping. Now they're getting after it a little bit.
Help!
Yeah, he may have pulled back a little bit on that one.
Don't give up. Go, go.
Looks like it's coming in okay, though. It's going to be 2.
Well, there was no chance of sweeping that one through, Dave. I don't know if I would have lifted the broom on that.
So score 2.
They were
Pat
comfortable that it was
Fitzgerald.
on the rings. I wasn't so comfortable that was on the rings, but
I'm with you. But in any event, a score of 2, and now we've got a 5-2 game after the completion of 4 ends.
So for all of our viewers out there, the numbers are great this morning. Let's go through sheets 4, 5, and 6. Scoreboard has been updated. A lot of tight battles going on. So in sheet number 4, the battle between our defending champion, Mike Stefanik. Schenectady 3, Mike the skip, Brian Damon the vice, Scott Brennan throwing second stones, and Art Merkley is the lead for Schenectady 3. Utica 5. Dave, you want to introduce this team?
Sure. The skip is Bill Sewell, and the third is Bob Kane. The second is Sean Lanigan, and Fred Hicks is the lead.
Who's the spare on that team?
I actually played the first game Thursday night on that team. I think it was their only loss. So it's good to see those guys out there. Wish I was out there too.
All right, so that's the B event game playing for the Allen Medal, the 104th version, I believe, of the Allen Medal in that one. Sheet number 5 is a battle for the C event. Another local squad, Utica 2, skipped by Pat Costello. Brad Anderson is throwing vice stones. Pete Ciarelli throwing second. Tom Fershing is throwing the leads, and the spare is Tom Platt. So what lineup do they have out there right now, guys?
We've seen Tom out on the ice quite a bit this weekend. I'm looking to see who's behind on the catwalk right now. It's hard to see. Peter and Brad are out there.
Yep, so I see, of course, Pat. I see Pat, or do we? Yeah, there he is.
And Pete Ciarelli's
Yep,
mid-ice.
Pete Ciarelli, okay, so.
Right, but we're not sure who the lead is,
Yeah.
whether it's Tom or whether it's Tom.
But those are the 5 playing, and they're going up against West Naven. You remember this rink from last year, making it all the way to the great semifinal game with the Stefanik rink, a very memorable game. They're skipped by Jerry Archambault. We have Lee Gibbard listed as the second. Mike Semeraro throwing second stones. Pierre Grignon is the lead, and we know that team usually brings 8 or 9 gentlemen, so it's a potluck. We see Tom Clark out there.
Right,
He's
Mike
part-
Semeraro is on his way to Whistler Mountain for a week of skiing.
Okay, so
And it is Tom Platt Jr. throwing the lead stones for the Utica 2 team.
Yeah, the freshest guys get to play on Sunday there, huh?
oh, and I apologize. I'll get you back on the view so you can see the rocks going down the sheet. Sorry about that. And over on sheet 6, all tied up at 3, battle for the F event. The Albany Curling Club, represented by Brett Centawani.
Yep.
Centawani.
Yep.
Robert Howells is the vice. Adam Weber is second. Brian Costello is throwing lead stones for Albany CC. They are playing the Granite Curling Club out of Nashua, New Hampshire, a team that won this event a few years back, right, John, Dave?
Yep.
Peter Lyons throwing skip stones. Chris Dupree is the vice. Doug Kralo is throwing second, and Jack Dupree is the lead. So you're all caught up. Sit back and enjoy the rest of the action here live from the Utica Curling Club.
A clean house here on our feature sheet number 3 in our A event. Now looking for a draw to come in. Mid-8 T-line.
5-2 Ardsley here in the 5th end. Schenectady hasn't hung their deuce up on the board yet, but it is 5-2. Pat Fitzgerald trying to set up a steal end here.
Dave, from our chat window, one of our viewers is mentioning that the high-low sweeping technique we were talking about a little bit earlier is being used quite a bit in a little bonspiel they're playing out in Las Vegas this week called the Continental Cup.
Mm-hmm. Little bonspiel. Well, we'll see how that unfolds. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt about going to 5 rocks free guard zone 2.
Question from the chat window whether we're playing 8 or 10 ends. Championship game in the Mitchell is always a 10-end game.
Yeah, I don't know that it's ever that Skips have ever agreed on playing 8 in the A final.
I think they get piped right off the ice. Well, we say always a 10-end game, but we could certainly see 11.
And we have recently.
Nice staggered center line guards here for Schenectady as they look to generate a way to steal and scratch a little bit closer to the Ardsley team here in our 5th end. Free guard rule is off, so Ardsley's going to look to remove them.
Looks good.
Contact's going to be made. Where will the roll go?
Fine shot.
Roll was just a little bit wider than what they're hoping for. They didn't mind giving a little cover to the shot rock that's top 12. Interesting decision here for Pat. He needs rocks in play because he needs to generate a steal. but he certainly doesn't want to give Ardsley the opportunity for two here. So a tough decision whether to try and maybe play behind this one. He wants the hit and roll, Dave.
I'm with you.
And here we're seeing a bit more curl than what they're looking for. They might want to let this one go to flop underneath the corner. Just off nose, that's going to hit and stick for shot rock.
Yeah, you get into this scenario where you're hoping for a miss, and it's always a bit of a caveat to do that. You really have to set your own, destiny and fate with curling, especially down 3. And Dennis is not going to leave this rock around at all. And at some point, Pat might make a decision to draw around it. If he knows hits this, he may go ahead and because he won't be on the rings if he takes this blue rock out. So in a sense, he could get behind it.
Now this is the first time we've seen the takeout on this line thrown with the out turn rather than the in turn.
Looks like it's running pretty true too.
Yeah, it did come all the way across the face just as they want. They need to roll across the house, change up the line a little bit. That's a fine shot.
Lots of room.
Settles in top 8. Schenectady's going to want to hit and stick right there, cut down the rings. No need for them to take play off to the side here, Dave.
No, you could draw behind it too. I mean, if you replace rocks the rest of the end, Ardsley's going to blank the end and keep the hammer. And if you're really trying to steal here, you almost have to draw. But
this one's floating a little.
Or hope for a miss.
This is going to make contact. It'll clear it out, but we're going to lose the shooter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a wide corner guard, Dave, but it's worth using. They're going to try and draw behind it.
Without question. He sticks one right behind it in the blue circle. It's a great shot.
Tightened up the ice just a little bit there from the initial broom placement. Two sweepers on right away, so they must think this is a little soft, trying to carry it for weight. Now off as they need line to improve, and there's that high-low technique we were talking about, Dave, where they're trying to push the rock more over in the direction they want.
Pretty darn good shot.
Yeah, and Jeffrey out there in the chat, to John's point, both the teams, all the other sheets except for sheet 3, hung the first 2 ends. So all the games on your scoreboard will go to 10 ends, but indeed only sheet 3 is truly playing all 10.
I understand after a long weekend, if you're in the B or C event, you might not be excited about playing a 10-end game. But I really think that if all games move along at the same relative speed, Dave, it really changes the dynamic of those last 2 ends for your championship game, because all of a sudden you've got an empty shed, and that can certainly affect the ice.
Without question. Tends to get more frosty and more difficult to read.
Of course, we don't mind it here in the booth, because then the shed mic picks up just one team and really gives us a little more insight as to what the thought process is down on the ice. Our shed mic set up over on the edge of sheet number 1, so majority of the yelling that you're hearing is coming from over on that end of the rinks. So the clean play continues, looking to remove the Schenectady stone back 12. And this is certainly setting up for the blank you were talking about earlier, Dave. Give Ardsley the opportunity to take advantage of the ends, take control of the even ends.
Yeah, I think if he had to do it over again, he might have wanted, when he had that blue rock in the center, he might have wanted to try to draw there or freeze to it instead of taking it out. Freezing to that rock would have been okay too.
Yeah, as long as he had one on the rings. Top four is the call. Tight broom for a top four draw. Once again, talking about split times, we could hear just a little bit of that conversation. 385 is the split time I think I heard. That would be a back line to hog line split.
Not sweeping. This rock's going through the park. Unfortunate miss there for Pat. Especially without him, you want to be, even a guard is fine there, right?
Sure.
You know? Hard to score without the hammer, without a guard.
Once again, Ardsley's going to try and take advantage of that corner guard. Try and tuck a stone under there so that they still have an opportunity for two.
Got room. Whoa. Got room. Whoa. Whoa.
Back to that shot, looking to draw around the guard here.
Sweepers step right up to it. This one's curling nicely, Dave. If they can get it behind, this is going to be a
If it's
really
got
nice
weight,
shot.
it's got a chance. If it's got weight. And it looks like it does have weight to get there. Not quite.
That's on the
Almost.
rings. Not all the way under the corner, but that's a well-swept shot. Schenectady and Pat's Rink, they're going to have to deal with this shot rock. They can't afford to give up two here. Sweepers working hard. This one may have been turned in just a little bit by Pat Fitzgerald. Sweepers are really working hard for contact. They're not going to get the contact they want.
Now the door's open for two. No chance of three of splitting the other one on, so. Just got to hit the rings here for a 5-point lead.
12 feet of paint to work with.
Buzzed it.
Hammerstone in our fifth end.
Looking for a commanding 5-point lead here. Sweepers working hard. Looks like a beauty to me. Right to the tee line.
Yeah, I got to love it when that last sweeper stays
very
on
nice.
there just to show the skip. Yeah, you got it. You
Very
got
nice.
it. 5 points after 5 ends, certainly a different field than 5 points after 3 ends, Dave.
That's for sure.
Still a long way to go, though.
Yep.
How about some live look-ins? We'll put Dave to work down there with the buttons on top. Okay, so push, let's see what they're all. We're going to give you a live look-in over on sheet 4, which is ahead of all the games. So go ahead, just press the buttons randomly. We'll see what comes up. All right, there's a shot of the house. And the overhead, the next button down. Next button. There you go. So there's an overhead of the house. So red, Schenectady 3 is a Stefanik rink. You know we have some Schenectady folks out in the chat. We'll give you a little live look in. We'll get back to our feature in a minute. Utica 5, that's Team Sewell with the hammer in this end. Tight battle going on for the B event.
Looks like
Mike
Stefanik's sitting 1 and 2 right now.
We're in the skip rock, so let's keep this right on this sheet
Okay.
for the conclusion of the end.
Looking to play this draw into the top 4.
Cover up shot rock, too. Doesn't even have to get that far to cover up perfect shot.
Yeah, just a little bounce. That's a nice shot. Utica with the hammer here in the 8th end.
That was Mike's first skip rock. So again, you're watching sheet 4, our live look in here of the action going on in the B event.
We're off to the side a little bit, Dave, so it's hard for us to tell if there's any overlap on those stones, but we can see that Bill Sewell is looking to line this up for a run back.
No, I think he's going to open it up.
You think so?
I think he's just going to try and he's ahead 1 with hammer. I think he's just trying to lose that red and blue rock and his shooter and keep it wide open and force Dave, and then just keep running. Dave will throw another guard up, and Dave's going to have to give that rock some shelter. If Bill can see that rock that's in the back of the 4-foot at all with his last rock, it's a non-favorable scenario. But 4. All
right.
Okay. Clearly a peel here.
And Bill Sewell can certainly throw the peel weight.
Stone's underway.
Waiting for line to improve. Nothing from the sweepers. This weight wasn't as big as we might have thought.
Nope. Not exactly what he had in mind.
Mike checking to see who's lying second shot.
And, of course, for our Utica fans out there and watching, we'll try to go around the sheets, cover all the local teams as best we can. We can give you the house views.
You can see from the long view here that there is still some room for the draw to bring the draw into the top 4. Try and lie 2.
Get it. 2. There you go.
Dave Stefanik thinking about taking this blue rock at the top of the 8-foot out and just flopping over to the center line, I believe. But it looks like he could be in between shots because they keep calling about tapping towards the top of the 4-foot circle. So we'll see what he's. Now with this ice, he's definitely changed his mind to more of a draw type shot.
Back to the draw, without a doubt.
Yeah. Or just a block. If it's short, it could protect shot rock there. And that would be okay too.
Yeah, that would force Bill to play some type of draw.
Yep.
Okay, Mike Stefanik is in the hack. We'll just keep you right on this view here. Last skip stone for Schenectady 3.
Nothing from the sweepers.
All about
so
the
weight's
line.
In the range they're looking for.
Just line. Line shot from here.
Now really starting to move.
Fine shot.
Just slid by the blue stone top 8, and that's going to make a very difficult decision for Bill Sewell here.
Yeah, would you say red sitting 3, guys? Can you see
it's
it?
It's hard to tell if red is sitting 3 or not, too, for sure. I couldn't from here tell you who's.
I think
rock.
It's 3. That would be my guess.
could tap the blue rock up. He's only got to move it 2 feet, 3 feet to win the game.
Well, they've still got 2 more ends to play, Dave.
Oh, duh.
They hung the
Okay.
first. They hung the first.
Har,
Yeah,
har.
that's fine.
Okay. Creatures of habit.
I was going to just actually do the subtraction, but
Thank
I thought
you.
if we cut to
Yeah.
another sheet, it's going to be all confusing if seeing the numbers on the board.
Okay, no need to panic here. But still, he'd like to come away with with scoring here.
You got the quick fingers, Dave. Go to button 3.
I think
Watch, and then once Billy's delivery, I'll call out for button 2. Okay.
Okay.
Just keep it right there.
I think he's trying to play the double here.
I would say that with that ice, he's throwing takeout weight, normal takeout.
Let's watch him slide out. Last rock in end number 4.
Then 2.
Or I'm sorry, sheet number 4, end number 7, end number 8. Excuse me. Yeah, 2. Yep. Here it comes. You
Sweepers
hear
on
Bill.
right away.
Bill is could be a big shot. Holding it. No, and it's but. Well,
Almost got the fortunate tap, but that's a steal of 2.
that's definitely 2. Back to our feature game. Yeah, over on 1. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Good work, Dave.
Things haven't
Getting
got
your
much.
exercise.
Things haven't got much better here, unfortunately, for Pat Fitzgerald Schenectady rink here.
Looking to freeze on the shot stone T line, maybe just behind T line. We're in second stones here. That's a great draw.
Absolutely.
So we just have a score update here. Sheet 4 is a good full end ahead of most of the other games. What do we have over on 1? Oh, looks like they've just posted through 7, so it's 5-4. Get that updated.
And sheet 2 is also played through 7 ends, and the score there is 6-4.
Great games all
In
the-
favor
up
of
and down the
Ottawa.
sheet.
So there's the big weight clearing
Yep.
shot. 2 stones move, shooter leaves the house, and 1 Ardsley stone left in the house. I think you'd anticipate Schenectady to try another freeze here.
And if you were paying attention over on sheet 5, West Naven put up a big numbers, took 4 in the 6th end to take the lead in that game, 7-4. And over on sheet 6, we have an update for you through 7, 5-4. So Albany taking 1 with a hammer, and they're playing the 8th end over there on sheet 6. Again, if you're just joining us and wondering what's going on with the scoreboard, all the games will go through to 10 ends, but the only sheet that's truly playing 10 is sheet 3. The other 5 sheets all hung the first 2 ends.
Vice stones here on a championship sheet. Call is for a draw freeze. Waiting for the line to improve. Weight looks real nice here, Doug. Just waiting for the line to improve. Now they're going to try and bring it into position. This stone's going to come up just a little bit short, but they needed to wait for the line to improve.
Yeah, just looking for something to freeze on, to try to score multiple points here. Ardsley will just continue to bang away.
Got it!
Dennis is indicating that one's got a little bit of room to come. Just set it out a little bit wide. It's going to make contact. It's certainly going to clear shot rock. Shooter's going to roll
Yeah,
off,
that's
and
fine.
we'll look for Schenectady to play the freeze again.
So glad all of you have joined us this afternoon.
How many people we got over there?
Some good numbers, Dave. We're up,
Yep.
getting up around 40, 45.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Excellent.
So
And we know it's the replays that get us the true numbers.
that's right. That's right. You know, a lot of these teams will tune in later. A lot of teams have participated, 36 teams this weekend on their way home this morning.
Big kudos to you, Doug, on the way you do this.
Oh, thanks,
It's a
Dave.
very, very neat thing that you're doing here.
Once again, the Schenectady team looking for line to improve before they can start sweeping
This
for
looks-
weight. This
this-
one looks a little better.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. If they can get it right up to the face,
It's there.
that's a nice shot.
Yeah, good shot.
Little room there.
Yeah, really needed to sit right on it. He can still, if he hits just a third of it, he can still chip it out. But it's not a gimme, you know. There's a jam there for sure. More margin for error. You split the house and sit 2. Good call here.
Yeah, no reason.
Up this
no
many.
reason to lose your shooter here, or your shot rock.
Utica 2 is Pat Costello. A lot of discussion going on in that game. It's just he's in his skipped rocks over there on sheet 5.
Over on sheet 2 here in the 8th end, every rock is in play. Kind of good.
Yeah, with how many left to throw? Wow.
3, I believe.
Skip stones. Yep.
Yeah. Looks like blue is sitting 2. Ottawa is sitting 2 right now. Just trying to take a raise away or something here.
Ardsley really needs to be sure that they are shot or second shot here.
Got plenty.
Weight looks great. Get him even, right?
Yep. Perfect shot. Pat's got 2 rocks left here.
So choices here, Dave. Hit what is now shot rock and roll off a little bit to the 8 foot.
Nope.
I don't think you want to hit and
Nope.
roll underneath this pile. Bring any jam opportunities into play. Do you play your the hit and roll off of your own yellow?
Yes. Down this many? There's none too good here. I mean, what if you freeze on your own yellow rock here? Just off-centered so you can keep them both with your next shot. What does Dennis do if he freezes on his yellow? I mean, you got to get creative here to try and score a multiple, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Didn't really see a weight indication out of Pat here. So this broom could be set up for a firm hit and roll over to the right-hand side as we look at it from behind the glass. Calling for a little more ice now. We'll see what kind of weight he delivers. That'll tell us whether it's the hit or whether it's the draw. Good firm slide. This is a takeout. Sweepers
Real
on it
narrow.
immediately out of hand.
Real narrow.
They're going to have to work hard to keep contact here.
Nope, not hitting it. Things just went from bad to worse here for Team Schenectady here.
I think you have to cover up as much of the forefoot here as possible. There's really no point in
Right there.
in guarding shot stone.
Nope.
Because that leaves all the forefoot for the draw for Pat.
Right. I think you got to go to the center here.
Yeah, you place one right there, and then you're either looking at you're probably looking at trying to just grab a piece of the forefoot on the draw on the
You
left
just
hand
don't want
side
it to
as you
be-
look at it here behind the glass.
Right, you don't want it to be deep enough where he can nose it and be shot.
Because a hit-on-shot rock is not going to roll to a shot position unless they can get underneath.
I think right in the middle of the 8-foot circle, huh? Alongside of the other one.
Still a lot of discussion going on sheet 5. Not sure. The end is complete. We know that West Naven looks like that's the first rock of the end, so they did steal. Right?
I think Jerry's just taking his time, taking control of the house.
Hey, Carl.
Okay, into the last 2 rocks of the end here. Dennis Meller up, skip of this fine Ardsley squad.
Sunday morning curling, well, Sunday afternoon curling now. A lot of rough and gruff curlers out there now. Just looking for an 8-foot guard here, we'll call it, just to cut the rings down and make Pat's
This is going to
attempt
come
at
in
one.
a little deeper than what they'd like.
Yep, he's going to be able to nose this and be shy, I think, unless now you want to take it back, I would think.
Yeah, to Dave's point, 4 of the 6 sheets here all played at 8:30 this morning.
Phew.
Winners advancing to play in this 11:30 finale.
Be a lot of snoring going on later. So he's got to either draw here for his one. This is the Hammerstone in the
It's a real thin
6-10.
slash to try and make 2 here.
7-3.
So your scoreboard is 100% correct on the left-hand side of your
He
screen.
could tap his yellow rock up here too. You could just tap his yellow rock off nose into the blue one and roll it right to the red too as well.
So they did steal 1 and then number 7.
Still all the rocks in play over there on 2.
8-4 now through 7 ends on in sheet 5. Yeah, we do see Donnie DeCar out there playing this morning for the West Naven squad. Right?
Yep.
Yep. There. 3 of the 4 members of West Naven Utica Curling Club members. Last rock in end number 6. That's Gerald just looking to score 1 here.
Hits the call again. Once again, Sweeper's working really hard.
A little too thin, I think,
It's
but he
gonna
might
roll-
have it.
It's going to roll out.
Yep. No, just going to give up one there.
8-2 through 6 for the Ardsley squad. Comfortably in the lead, but we've seen comebacks here in the Mitchell Bonspiel over the years. 4 ends left to play. Clearing the pile over there on sheet 2, guys. Any idea what happened for our Utica fans out there?
Blue was sitting 2 with the last rock coming.
And they're stepping into the hack.
No, so Blue did score there in that end.
Yeah, I think they scored 2. Ottawa scored 2.
Ottawa scored 2. Okay.
Yep.
Lead stones here in end number 7 looking to take play straight into the top of the 4-foot.
Well, it looks like after the Bonspiel is over, all our friends will get a chance to go home before the snow moves in. There is a lake effect snow warning for our area as of later this evening. Next couple of days, a chance at 10 to 15 inches of snow.
Don't you love living in the North Country?
Yeah, I bought a new snowblower. Bring it on.
All right, Dave, ready to do some more work? We can give you a live look
Sure.
over on 4.
Okay.
So that is the house. Just keep it on button 1 for now. That's what we're looking at, and then actually go to 3, I think.
And we are
Yeah.
in skip stones here.
Yep. So two rocks remaining. Again, this is sheet 4.
Schenectady looking to steal. Looks like they're sitting 1.
I apologize. You'll see this little active line here. We're active on sheet 4. Now, that's a very good game for the Allen Medal here on sheet 4. Between Mike Stefanik skipping Schenectady 3 and Bill Sewell skipping Utica 5.
Yep, Mike Stefanik defending
champion.
Mitchell champ.
2-time champion, right?
Yes.
Little discussion here about whether to play the draw or whether to play the center line guard. Looks like there's a run back available there, Dave. So there's a straight line double there for the Sewell rink. If they leave that center line open, I think that's the shot that I'd be taking away.
Mike's going to slide down and take a better look.
Yeah, we'll just give you a quick go back to our feature here real quick. No, you're okay. Just leave it right there, Dave. We're now active on 3, and you see nothing happen. So we'll go back to 4. And keep it right here for the last 2 remaining rocks at the end. And we have a shout out from Martin Balzer from Florida, from Port Charlotte, Florida, a current Floridian UCC plate glass member, curled with George Johnson rink in the 80s, and 2 Mitchells watching matches from Port Charlotte. So glad you could join us this afternoon. That's great.
Hi, Martin.
Martin made a beautiful contribution to the club last year of a really gorgeous piece of stained glass. And Martin, we're still looking for just the right place to hang that. I think the places that we're looking at, we actually have to run additional electricity to those locations so that we can get that backlit. But we do appreciate the donation. It is a beautiful piece of artwork. Over here on sheet 3, we've seen stones get readjusted a couple times. Not sure if we had something burned or if it was probably a free guard violation.
Yep, I think that's what it was.
Okay, we'll cut back over to sheet 4.
Mike Stefanik with a big
In the hack. 2
big
skip
shot
stones
here.
remain. Now we're active on sheet 4 here in the B event game.
This ice, I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to. He's trying to come down and take the blue rock out. It looks like a little light tap on the blue rock that's sitting on the forefoot. Sure is what it looks like. Curling hard. Don't know if he's going to get by that blue guard, and he's not. So now,
The button 1, Dave, we could see the overhead view on sheet 4.
Where the shooter ended up actually covered up that line for the double just a little bit. It's going to make it more difficult for the Bill Sewell rink to play that. But here he's going to try and play the run back takeout, the raise takeout.
All right.
or to jam his own blue rock into.
Yes.
Yeah, jam his blue rock into the other one, into the red rock that's on the button for 2.
All right, so we'll go back to our feature game real quick. You can just put it on button 3, Dave, that'd be great. And we'll go back to our feature. So not a lot happening here in number 7.
It's a clean house on sheet number 3. Schenectady rink looking to take advantage of the Ardley stone on the center line, just outside of the house.
Big shot here from Bill Sewell on sheet 4 in the B event.
And we'll cut over there. This is a live looking, the last rock. Last skip stone for Bill Sewell. Stone is underway. I hear Bill screaming for the hard brush. Now they're up. No, must have picked. And
Yeah, that had to. He was trying to play control
Oh, don't
away.
tap him.
oh, here we go.
He wanted to play that with control away because he really needed to control the shooter to get his 2 there. And really unfortunate
Just one,
circumstance.
was it? I think.
1 red.
Yeah.
So a 2-point lead after 9 ends for Schenectady over Utica 5 in the B event final on sheet 4. Utica will have the hammer coming for home in the 10th end, down 2.
After a nice draw from Schenectady, Ardsley peeling off that center line guard.
And we have a final on sheet 6. Or are they broom stacking, perhaps? We'll get one of our runners, our production assistants here to you find out what happened on 6, John?
Now, Pat Fitzgerald here calling for the tap up. He's looking to bring 3 rocks into place. He's looking for T-line weight here, wants to raise up that stone, take the shooter, roll onto the rings, lie 3 as the dust settles.
Yeah, so we will give you an update on the F event game. Granted, our last scoreboard update was ahead through 7 ends, 5-4.
They might be able to roll this on the rings.
So we do have an update. Congratulations to the Granite Ring from Nashua. They took 4 in end number 8, and there was a handshake. Velcro
ripping there on,
was going on
6.
and so congrats to them. 9-4 is your final over there on sheet 6.
Sometimes enough is enough.
Absolutely.
Especially when you started curling at 4:45 on Thursday afternoon.
Playing for what, a case of Saranac in that event too, I think, right?
Yes.
Schenectady didn't get the split they want. Ardsley attacks shot stone, makes the hit, rolls under cover. Now they're lying shot. Will Schenectady try that split again, or will they try and draw underneath?
Over on sheet 4, Bill Sewell trying to guard the corners here. Down 2 with hammer. Schenectady has a little biter there in the top of the 12-foot, which Bill's disregarding.
Yep. And we'll try to cut over there as best we can. Show you what Dave's describing.
Call here on sheet 3 is for the draw behind cover. You've got a corner guard and a backer. Now the rock
Line
starts
looks
to
real
swing.
good. Real good line.
Need to tuck it in behind this corner guard.
And not quite shot rock.
Let me give you the overhead view there of sheet 3. Oh, Dave, but 1. There we go. So that's so blue looks to be shot rock. It's close though.
Just looking for a draw here.
Ardsley still sitting 1 in the back of the 12-foot.
Shooter just hung on the back of the rings. I think here we're going to see Schenectady play the tap. I don't know that they'd want to draw underneath. Well, Pat thinks there's room for the draw. Draw weight looks nice. Sweeper's just moving alongside. This rock needs to curl a long way to get under cover. So the weight was really nice, but just not the swing they were looking for here. And Ardsley's going to look to remove shot rock. Continue to lay shot rock, perhaps even two if they get the right roll.
Sheet 5, West Navin has lengthened their lead against Utica 2. Eight 4 in the 8th end.
Skip Stone's here on sheet 3.
There's the hit, there's the roll, a beautifully executed shot. Ardsley now lays two under cover.
Pat might have to tap something up here. That rock that's standing in front of him there, he could tap that rock up a couple of feet. He hits what he can see of it. I think he can have a nice guarded shot rock.
Certainly the best way at this point in time to bring two into play.
Yep.
Pretty difficult at this point in time to generate three. It would take a miss from the Ardsley squad.
Yeah, the split is tough with this rock that's outside of the part in front of that one.
He's just looking to improve the third rock here. But I'll tell you what, Dave, that's no gimme either, because from what he can see of that rock, he can almost get to nose. He can drive it almost straight back, but he doesn't have a lot of rings to work with here. If you hit this
he's
one,
only got to move it like a foot and a half.
But if you hit it thin at all, it's just going to slide across the top of the 12 and really give you nothing at all. Shooter's going to roll right out into the open.
Yeah, it's a weight-sensitive shot, too. If it's too heavy, it's going to skitter it right through. It's really just like a heavy draw almost. Back 4, back 8 foot weight. Just a little past
Now,
back 4.
On the last shot that they called here, Dave, they took maybe about 3-4 inches more of ice and didn't even get near the stone on the top 12 that they were trying to draw underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Here, weight looks good, line looks good. This is going to get up a good angle.
Fine shot. Go. Not sure if it outcounted it or not. It looks like it may have.
Wow, maybe. And tough from our overhead here, but possibly sitting two.
All right, so the raised stone is shot rock. Can you drive one into the pocket here, Dave?
Yes, you can. Unfortunately, it may jam it in those rocks in the back. I almost think the safer play would be going for the double on the two yellow rocks that are outside of the 4-foot line. Really just a nose hit on that yellow rock that's outside of the park. We'll get both of the yellow rocks gone and guard both of your shots in the back.
But with a 5-point lead, no need to get that aggressive, so the call here is for the draw.
Yep. The rings are wide open. The 8-foot circle is wide open.
we'll try to give you as best we can. There's only a lot of hitting going on sheet 4, but they're into skip stones over there. We'll try to give you the live look in as soon as we can.
Ardsley's last stone of the end sweepers are working hard.
This is going to tap something yellow up.
This is going to come up short. Makes contact with the yellow stone.
Hard to tell who's out counting who from
Boy,
here.
it is.
That might have pushed him into sit 2. What do you think, guys?
It's real possible that he's sitting 2 now.
Well, regardless of whether he's lying 1 or 2, he's got to play the draw here.
Yeah. But a 3 here will make it very interesting.
I don't think whether it's 1 or 2 here changes the shot that you call,
Sure.
Dave.
Absolutely. All right, so Bill and Bob Kane over there on sheet. Dave, we could do a little quick peek.
Well,
quick.
you know, I could be mistaken there because if it's not
3,
it's not on, you could still play the split here, Dave.
2.
Yes, you could. You could
Right.
tap the blue one right into
To guarantee
to guarantee your
ensure the
deuce.
3.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, to ensure the 3.
split on
If,
what?
if you're not sure that your second shot here, then you are going to want to play the split to try to ensure the 3.
Gotcha. The split on the yellow rock closest to the park?
Correct.
To the center line?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll buy that. It's fine. There's not much of that rock to see. But, yeah, I think that's what he's trying.
Yep. We're here live now on sheet
Same
4.
weight for both shots.
Absolutely. Yep.
Same weight for both shots.
It's a draw that makes contact or one that doesn't.
Yep.
You won't miss Pat's last stone. He's sliding back into the hack. We're back on sheet 3 now for Pat's last rock. So what is this? Just a draw to split to make sure that that's try to get 3, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like it to me.
Yep.
Yeah,
you're
because
right on with that, John. I think you're right
that's a
on.
fairly tight broom for the draws that we've seen thrown before. So
Boy, you aren't
he
kidding.
certainly wants to make contact.
Last rock is go a long way towards getting back in this game.
And if it overcurls and hits the blue rock, he's guaranteed himself 2 as well.
Sweepers are up and off.
This is going to make contact with the stone they want to hit.
Perfect shot. Perfect shot. Might split the other one right on there, too.
One. Real quick. There. All right, beautiful.
Looks like 3 yellow.
No, I don't think they
Nope.
got the roll that they needed on the top stone.
No.
So there's 1, there's 2. They're going to take a look at the third.
Nope. Kicking it right out. 1, 2. Is it only 1?
I think it's 2.
Good shot. Nice shot
All
from
right,
Pat
so
Fitzgerald there.
back to button number 3, Dave. 4, I'm sorry.
And
There we
here
go.
the Sewell rink is attempting to play the draw to the back of the forefoot. They need 2 to tie here in the final end. They have the hammer. Schenectady lies shot rock. They're looking to bring one just behind the forefoot.
too heavy.
That one goes just a little too heavy.
Looks like they're measuring for 2. On sheet 3, we're measuring for, I believe, 2.
Yeah, that would be second shot.
Yep.
Back over to 4.
That's solid contact there. So it is 2.
2 yellow
2 yellow.
through 7. And a hammer flips to Ardsley.
A lot of discussion here on sheet number 4 about the best location for Mike Stefanik's last rock of their 10th end.
Yeah, Dave, if you could do an overhead, I think it's button 2. There you go. That's a good. We'll just leave it right there.
They've called for this rock right in the button area. A lot of discussion whether to leave it high in the button area or whether to freeze down onto the rock in the back of the house.
Stone is underway. Mike Stefanik, sheet 4, his last rock.
This looks like it might be a little soft, but sweepers are stepping away. Weight's real nice here. Into the 12, into the 8, top of the 4-foot, and top of the button, right to the tee line.
Now Bill's going to be able to run that blue rock right into it, though, and sit one for sure. He might get them both. He might get them both. He might be able to double them out here.
He's lining up the angles
right on the nose
to remove 2.
Yep, boom, boom, just off nose.
And just off nose could keep shooter in play. We could see
with
the
a guard
here.
and guard.
But this
and
is
guard the shot in the back.
This is the last rock.
This is last stone.
This is last stone, so he needs this hit and stick for 3.
This is for the win, right? Or are they playing? Is this it? Is this
This is
the
it.
last end? So this is for a possible winning shot here on sheet 4 for Bill Sewell. It's pretty much a nose hit.
Yeah, the double and stick makes 3 and gets the win.
Correct.
Double and spill ties. And that was a great shot by Mike Stefanik to just put a ton of pressure on Bill Sewell.
All right, we'll keep it right on sheet 4 for this last stone. Could be the last stone of the game. Could be 3, could be 2. We go extra ends. Could be less than that, and Stefanik would be victorious. Bill Sewell is in the hack, getting ready. We're going to keep it right on this view here so you get a good shot of this double attempt. Stone is underway.
Sweepers on hard. Now
All off.
There's the contact, there's the hit and the roll, and it's a single point.
Just the singles. Good effort, though. Congratulations to Michael Stefanik, our defending champions, capturing the B event here at the Mitchell Bonspiel 2016 edition.
Back to our championship sheet, we had opening stone was a center line guard. Ardsley brought their stone in back 8. Schenectady then drew behind the center line guard. Just a beautiful draw, top 4. Ardsley attempted the takeout, which was a flash, and now Schenectady is going to try and bring another rock into the rings, just biting the 12-foot, giving a little bit of half cover to shot stone.
What are our other games, John, on 1 and 2 for our Utica fans out there? We do have a score posted on the 8th end. All right, 7-5 now. Penetanguishene taking 2 in the 8th. Utica 1, of course, the Mike Kessler, Jason Bryan, Mike Kessler, Howie Feldman, and Jason Golubsky over there on sheet 1. Sheet 2, John? We have an update?
Yep, sheet 2 entering what will be their 10th end, actually in the middle of their 10th end, and Ottawa with a pretty commanding 3-point lead. Score is 8-5 as they play their 10th.
So do I have the through 8 ends, right? We're through 8 ends on 2 or through 9 ends?
They're in their final end.
Okay, so there's the posting. I didn't see that. So it's 8-5 through 9, sorry.
Nice draw from the Schenectady rink, and Ardsley's going to look to clear up the front.
Same with that over on 7-2. They just had an update. It's 7-5 on sheet 1, but Penetanguishene has the hammer on sheet 1, right?
They do.
Yep. Okay. Sorry about that. It was up to date. Sheet 3 is up to date, and how about sheet 5? Still playing the 8th end over there on 5. 8 to 4 is
8 to 5.
8 to 5. I'm
No,
sorry, they're in the 9th
Maven
end.
with the 3-point lead.
Utica 1 has the hammer on 1, down 2.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Okay.
Back to our feature sheet. There's a shot of the house.
Just looking for a guard rock here.
Yep, you saw the takeout from Ardsley.
Just
Cleared
a
off
guard.
the top stone. Shooter rolled out.
Right in the center is great. It's coming nice. Doesn't need any sweeping, just right. Good shot. Good guard rock.
Ardsley will clear out the top here. There's a chance that they could remove 2 stones here, but really rather lose the shooter than keep anything on the center line.
He's just going to get the top one.
And that's a fine peel.
Yep.
That's all you need at this point in time.
Yep. Just looking for a center guard. Halfway between the hog line and the house would be good.
A steal here would certainly breathe some life into the Schenectady rink.
Absolutely.
And right now they are well positioned for that steal. Still plenty of room to the 4-foot for the draw, and this is unfortunate. This rock not going to make it across the hog line.
Real light. Must have been a pick there. It kind of looked like that rock pick.
Yeah, Pat thinks so because he's checking the underside of the rock. Now an opportunity for the double and for Ardsley to reclaim control of this end.
Think we'll ever break away from this 10-end tradition, or is it too embedded in the culture? Since even the pros are playing 8 ends, other than the national, slam events that are all 8 ends.
It's on the discretionary of the skips too,
Yeah.
These skips could decide before the game whether or not they want to play 10 or not,
I think for the Mitchell though, isn't that written right in the rules?
I don't know that.
Well, I know it is for our men's club championship.
Yeah,
But once upon a time, there used to be 12-end games.
right. Beautiful shot.
Great shot. You're starting to hear a ramp up in the urgency of the sweep calls now coming down the stretch. Utica needs 3, and they do not have the hammer. Ottawa has the hammer, but
They are sitting 3 right now, though.
3 in the house.
On sheet 2.
Yeah.
No panic here.
Draws is the call here on sheet 3. Schenectady looking to take advantage of the Ardsley Stone top 12 just off center line.
It's narrow.
Nothing really cooking over on sheet 1. We'll keep you posted. For Utica.
Not enough weight to get a bounce off here, Dave. This rock's not going to be.
Not a bad spot for it, though.
Well,
Not a bad spot for it. Center guard's okay here. But he's just going to keep banging. You got to hope for a jam and then another chance at your draw.
well, now with 2 on the paint, Ardsley changing gears and going to take play right into the 4-foot. Looking at an opportunity to score a multiple here. Over 4 foot of broom for this draw, David.
Good. That's a good thing.
That's what we like to see. And the rock is swinging.
The line's actually really good. He's just going to go by it. Oh, he just ticked it. It's okay. Draw's still there for Pat. He can come the other way and draw. I think he's got a draw here, but
Yeah, now's the time. You got to make your move in this end.
Yeah.
He's just running out of time.
right. It'd be in a great spot. I mean, if he can get one behind these guards and just be on this side of center on the top of the 4-foot, he's in business, right? He won't be able to get to it the way the rocks are lined up,
Well, you can
forcing
see
him to peel.
You can see the angle that he is looking back. He wants to be careful that he doesn't leave the run back takeout.
He's down 3. I'm not sure hitting does him any good here.
No, I agree. But that looks like the call. He wants to hit and double out the back and take the shooter off to the wing. That's the shot he's lining up, Dave.
Strategically, I'm just not sure what that does him, John.
Last-
I'm just not sure
I
what
agree,
that does
'cause
him, you know?
Last rock on sheet 2, guys. What is going on here?
Wow. This is
Yeah.
Hammerstone on sheet 2 for Ottawa.
And Don Knapp is
Sitting 3 for the tie, so he's got to run something. If he gets rid of one red rock, the game is over,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know why he's not just peeling. Well, again, wish
He-
we
I
could
think he
show
is.
Show, this is the last stone. He has to get rid of one of the reds. He's trying to run back here.
You don't think he can see them straight on.
Ah,
I'm not sure why he wouldn't just be playing some
Yeah.
kind of draw to the 8-foot to leave him a score of 2.
and he made a great run back. And
Yeah, he
game
got his
over.
one. Beautiful shot. That's all.
He knew better than
Game
us.
over.
That was the intent.
They stole 2, but they had a 3-point lead, Ottawa, so they're victorious for the D event. Congrats to the Ottawa Curling Club rink.
Here's Pat Fitzgerald's first skip stone of our 8th end. Sweepers on immediately. Urgent call from the house. This is going to make contact.
Should
with
let
the
it come
top
up to get the
yellow.
nose of this, but it's just going to move his guard out of the way, which is not that great. Unfortunate shot there.
Yeah, that's Scott Westwell for Ottawa, victorious in the D event. Scott Westwell, Rick Westwell, Greg Westwell, and Tom Anderson. Congrats to them.
Ardsley still lies 3 and now looking to play the draw around the other side
With hammer.
with hammer. A lot of room for the draw to the 4-foot here.
And for the Utica fans out there, we'll keep you posted on sheet 1. They need to score 2. Utica does to send it to extra, 3 to win.
Jason Bryan moving down the sheet for his first skips rock of their 10th end. They are shot rock undercover.
Yeah, we don't have cameras on 1, so we'll just have to describe the action for you. Back to our feature. Dennis Meller up in the hack into skip rocks.
Looking to play the draw.
Yeah, Ardsley sitting 3. A comfortable 4-point lead in this game. A big number here could be the handshake time.
Yes, it could. Looks real good.
Now we need the curl to come on.
Up.
Yeah, it's a nice T-line draw.
Beautiful shot.
Now they're sitting 4.
So Pat's going to see about 3/4 of that stone.
Yeah, we'll get that on the long view, as John's saying. Yeah, it's about 3/4.
So he's going to need to play this with just backline weight. He can't afford the shooter to roll off. Just needs to take it through the 8-foot to lie right there. So somewhere around backline hack weight, Dave. No more than hack here.
No,
Because
light
you do
takeout.
need it-
Just
you do
this
need
is
it to curl.
this is a real finesse shot. You know,
Tough shot.
lightweight takeout, very lightweight, hack weight, just through the house type shot. And you got to get it to curl enough to where you got to at least come to the face or roll in, because if you leave it out, it'll be a sit and duck if it's out in the 8-foot.
Jason Bryan's draw on sheet number 1 moves to the back of the 4-foot, not under cover.
But they are sitting 2. Utica 1.
I think it's more covered up than you think, John. There's a guard up at the top of the 12-foot there. It's not wide open.
Well, I think you could draw
CP,
to
so,
it.
right, and I think that's what he's calling for. That was his first, Roger's first.
So here's Pat's hit.
Yeah, on our future game,
Weight looks nice. Not sure if
close.
it's
Can
enough
they
to take
hold
it all
it?
the way through the 4-foot. The line is good.
Lions real good. Just not unfortunate, but does cut him down. So
It's an end saver.
I'm sure they'll continue on. If this draw is made for 2,
9-4 if he doesn't throw.
Yeah. Ardsley about 4 hour drive from here, from club to club.
Yep.
I'd say.
Yeah, Schenectady only a quick 90 minutes down the thruway.
Yep.
So here's our last rock. And 8. Lefty out turn draw for 2. Just needs a good chunk of the 4.
Sweepers alongside. No activity for weight, no activity for line.
Better
Now
go
that-
for
now- Yeah,
line.
now they need to go, absolutely.
No, it's there. A fine shot.
Little bit of rub off the center line guard, eases in for second shot,
Yeah, nice.
and that's 2 points.
$10-4.
Hey, we might as well just radio it up, guys, on sheet 1 here. Radio curling. It's Jason Bryan's last rock.
Needs this to be outcount the blue rock for 2 for an extra end, right? Down 2.
He just
Got to hit the white circle.
throwing a draw, though.
Got to hit the white circle. It looks
that
light.
looks soft.
It looks real.
Drawn to send us to an
Better
extra
go.
end.
Better go. Better go hard.
Now they got it. They got
Better
it.
go hard.
They got
Hard,
it.
hard, hard. Goodness gracious.
Nice, beautiful
Okay,
T-line
nice throw.
draw,
Very
and
clutch
we're gonna
shot
play
there.
An extra end over
All
here on
right.
sheet
Extended coverage here.
1. Bonus curling.
Great shot from Jason Bryan to tie the game and force an extra end against Penetanguishene on sheet 1.
So Pat's moved down to the far end of the sheet here on sheet 3. It's scored 10-4. They're going to soldier on for at least one more end.
Yeah, what was the happen there last end, John?
It was a score of 2.
Now 10-4 heading to the 9th end.
And Ardley's just going to put this stone in the rack.
Oh, no, I mean on sheet 5.
On
I'm
sheet-
sorry. I thought you were talking about sheet 5. So 9-5. So West Naven did score. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Let's get you on a better view. So we're through 9 ends on sheet 5, and West Naven has control of this game. Just trying to run Utica 2 out of stones at this point. But Pat does have the hammer. Pat Costello, the skip of Utica 2. Playing today with Tom Platt Jr., Pete Ciarelli, and Brad Anderson. Is that rink?
Pat Fitzgerald, meanwhile, skip of Schenectady, is looking for a center line guard.
Needing all the granite and play he can afford.
Oh, actually, he called for the
For a corner
call
guard.
for the corner.
Or did the rock? I think that rock might have turned handle. I think he was going at the center.
And Ardsley's going to put another rock out of harm's way.
Yeah, just a throw through for Bill Peskoff. Excuse me, guys.
Schenectady now looking for a rock more towards the center of the sheet.
Yeah, this is definitely a tall order. Down 6.
Sweepers overcooked that one just a little bit. And that'll give Ardsley an opportunity to remove. This one's floating just a little bit. Shooter's going to roll out. They're going to make good contact.
Exactly what you wanted.
Exactly.
You ever watch the live stream from the Ardsley Club? They're on YouTube. They have a real nice setup down
Yeah.
there. Real nice setup. They show all 3 sheets at one time with their wide camera.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They have that dual, they use the dual cameras of YouTube's capability. Someday in the 21st century when Utica has enough bandwidth with, well, we need to get files, right, John? That's
That would be nice. The call here is for draw underneath the corner guard.
Plenty of weight. Might go through.
Well, look at that
Some
thing.
teams here, Dave, would have
Snapping.
opted for another corner guard and hoped that the peel attempt from Ardsley would leave another guard in play
Right.
before bringing play into the rings.
Yeah, there's no reel when you're down 6.
Right, yeah. You
This
don't-
is no reel. It's you got to hope for misses, you know,
Absolutely.
or even a double corner, really,
Yep.
at this point, right?
because regardless of where Schenectady puts rocks, Dennis is going to
Something's gonna get hit.
Right.
So here, removing the guard.
This might hang around for a guard on the other side. Yeah, okay.
So there's the one half shot that Schenectady was hoping for.
Now you got to come around this and in between the blue one and the yellow one on the ring somewhere. Like right. Yep. On the rings behind the blue one would be good. A little lighter weight than he just threw.
Yeah, sweeper's on right away.
Yeah, it's cranking.
Line's still okay if it's got enough to get there. Now it's over curling now, I think.
Going to just ease by the guard. Nope.
Nah, it's way late. And again, though, still has a guard.
Not
up
a bad
front.
spot.
Right. Crowd is filled in here nicely in the warm room. Out in advance of that snowstorm that Dave was talking about.
Means I'm a badass.
I think the concern you're seeing from the Ardsley squad here is that the shooter might roll over, make contact with their other blue stone on the edge of the sheet and still provide some cover for the Schenectady shot stone.
Great
So there
shot
was
on
a
sheet 1.
brief discussion about playing the hit in the other direction, which may have given them an opportunity to play the long double. This is going to get more nose than they want. There's that
Yeah,
jam,
it's a
but
nice
it comes
shot.
over the top.
Yeah, good peel.
Yep.
That blue rock.
Just
isn't
want to
guarding
keep it
anything.
clean as you
Yeah.
possibly can here if you're Ardsley.
And looks like congratulations to West Naven, has just captured the C event here at the Mitchell Bonspiel.
I think this is a tough call for Schenectady here, Dave. They're looking to play one over on the same side of the sheet as their shot rock. They want to be top 12 here to provide a little bit of cover for that stone in the back. I don't know if I'd be maybe playing the other side of the sheet, hope for a miss on the other side of the sheet that might bring 3 into play. And that's what they're doing.
West Naven skipped by Jerry Archambault. Today he was playing with Donnie Dakar, Tom Clark, excuse me. And not sure who the lead was.
Tom Platt Jr.
Yeah. Oh, for Jerry's team.
For
Jerry's
Naven?
team.
For Naven? I'm not sure.
We'll give all the members of that team a shout out. On the roster, the official roster was Jerry Archambault, Lee Gibbard, Mike Semeraro, and Pierre Grignon.
Gibbard was in there.
And Gibbard. Okay, thanks, Dave. So Jerry Archambault, Lee Gibbard, Tom Clark, and Donnie Dakar. Congrats to them. So hitting continues here. Just remove Granite, up 6. Even if they score 2 here, 3, they just don't want to give them 3 or 4. Sheet 1 looks like Penetanguishene in control, but the guards are out front. So
And Hammer.
Yep. Guards out front for Utica without Hammer to utilize.
Sweepers on and off for the takeout attempt here on sheet number 3. They're going to make contact. They're going to get the roll they're looking for. Just change the ice up a little bit.
Ardsley trying to seal the deal here.
This is a lapse time since we've been live.
Schenectady lies 2. Shot rock, top of the 4-foot. First skip stones for Ardsley.
Double is there.
That's a long roll for the double. They're going to make the hit. There's no double here, but hit and stick.
That's fine.
And shot rock.
Penetanguishene controlling things over there on sheet 1. Once we get down to skip rocks, we'll try to set up the action for you.
So the question here on sheet 3, Dave, is do you play the freeze or do you play the soft tap?
Freeze.
Dave, button 1, if you could.
Freeze right in front of it, right directly in front of it. I'll count it.
I would leave you lying shot and third.
Yep.
Kessler, nice draw over there.
Any kind of bounce gives Ardsley the opportunity to just peel off shot rock and lie 2.
I think this blue rock is your friend over here on 3. You could tap it back a little bit is fine, but I mean you can't move it far is all.
We'll stay on at the conclusion of things here. So glad you just joined us this afternoon. And this game will be available in the archives forever. The greatest part about YouTube Live. And commercial free.
Pat just tightened up the ice a little bit for this draw. We've seen some pretty good curl on this line in some of the other odd ends that we've been playing. Sweeper's on really hard. This one's going to over curl on him. They really needed to go hard for the weight, and this is going to end up on the wrong side of shot stone. A little bit of discussion here from the Ardsley squad whether to play the draw down 2 or just tap second shot out. Looks like they've elected to draw.
You put one right on the button here, and it takes 3 out of the equation, right?
Oh, sure. Well, the hit and stick would make 2 very difficult. But draws the call. We've cranked up the shed mic a little bit so you can hear the calls down on the ice. Weight's real nice on this draw. A shade deeper than what they were looking for, but no real worries here for the Ardsley squad.
Nope. Big roll across the sheet for 2. He can hit that rock on the inside and roll over to the other one and bump it out. You think he can keep that yellow one? I'm not sure he can keep the yellow one on the outside here on the right if he does that, but it's going to make contact with the yellow one if he hits it. It's going to make contact with the yellow one.
Yeah, I think if you try and play the double here, Dave, you end up keeping that blue on the rings. I think it jams on the yellow on the outside if you try and hit it for the double, don't you think?
Nah, if he hits it right, I think he can get 2, but not more than that. He'd have to really hit it almost directly. Just tick it over to keep it. They're almost alongside each other, right? Yeah, they're.
It's a long way to roll, too.
He's got it. It's worth a try down this many. 1 does him nothing. 2 doesn't do him all that good, but good luck.
A lot of weight here.
He needs it.
Sweepers on and off. They've got the hit. Looks like in the general area they want. There's
Almost.
the roll just off the backside.
A nice shot.
That was a great attempt
nice
at
shot.
that shot.
Nice shot.
So sitting shot rock right now.
Maybe. Yeah, right. If he got more of the blue rock, I think he was going to chip the yellow one out. Good shot, though.
Just scores 1.
Sheet 1, Jason Bryan, the skip of Utica 1, is down to his last rock here. There's a pile of blue rocks for Penetanguishene in the park. He's got to get one behind the guards, cover it up here. There's 2 guards. There's a high red guard and a blue guard just outside the park, 1.5 feet or so. He needs to use those 2 rocks for shelter to hide one here.
Talking about here comes the handshake. So congratulations to Ardsley Curling Club, the champions of the 2016 Mitchell Invitational Bonspiel. Dennis Miller up, Danny Stetsky, Bill Nickel, Bill Peskoff. We have our picture here for them. There they are. Congratulations to them.
And their names will soon be added to that trophy case behind them. Meanwhile, on sheet number 1, we are in skip stone. Second skip stone for Jason Bryan. Needs to get this one into the house.
Not happening.
He's throwing
That's
against 5 Penetanguishene stones, and that one's going to come up short, and that's the game. So all games concluded here. That's a win for Penetanguishene on sheet number 1.
And that's it. Guys, thanks so much.
Yep, thanks for
stopping
having me,
by.
guys.
Thank you,
Yep.
Doug.
Yep.
I can wrap it up if
We
you want.
appreciate everybody who tuned in for the webcast and look forward to talking to you again next year.
Next webcast will be probably the mixed playdowns right now. That's the tentative schedule. And the Charbonneau finals coming up as well. Here, I think. So, hello. Yep, still on the air here. So for Dave Craig Nolan, again, there's our champions, Ardsley, and our runners-up, Schenectady. A fine showing by both teams, and a great Bonspiel this year. So thank you so much for joining us on the Curling Club channel. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you next time.